So, hey, Facebook fans, here we are. We've got a wonderful guest today. First things first, welcome to Comic Spot, where the military veteran is vetting veterans of comedy. So first, we'll play the theme song for you. It's catchy. It'll be in your head all day if it even plays. Everybody's talking. Sing along with me, Jeff.
All right.
All right, well, that's the theme song. Today, we have the 208th interview, a redo with better quality audio and video. We've got a man here from New Jersey. He hasn't been doing comedy long, but you've seen him all over Broadway and Greenwich Village Comedy Club in New York City, in the Village. You've seen him at Tierneys in New Jersey, and he's funny, and you can catch his wit and humor all over his Facebook page. We got Jeff Greenberg. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Linda. How you doing today?
Wonderful. Talk to me, Jeff. What's going on in New Jersey?
Oh, yeah, we're starting to open up a little bit. Not much here in New Jersey. Most things are still closed. But Governor Murphy, yesterday, he did open up the batting cages. So I just couldn't take it being in the house so long. So I decided, to spend the entire day at the batting cages. I told all my clients I'll return their calls at 8 o'clock at night, but I need to hit some baseballs on a batting cage just to know them, just to restore some normalcy here.
That's good. So there's no bats at the batting cage.
Oh no, there better be. I didn't want to use my my head to hit the ball.
Yeah. Just as long as there aren't any of those bats that cause the virus.
Oh, that's true. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah, but they always talk about that the origin of the virus might have come from somebody eating bat soup. Bat soup. I'm saying to myself, wasn't there like a matzo ball or a mushroom and barley soup on the menu that day that somebody could have eaten?
Where was the soup Nazi when we needed him?
That's right. No bat soup for you.
Talk to me about your early life and what made you go into comedy in the first place.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. I was born in Louisville, Kentucky in 1958. I've always been in New Jersey all my life, but I started out in Kentucky because my father was in the Army, and I wanted to be close to my mother, as they say, So, but I've been in New Jersey all my life, but I've always been, I've always been like a funny guy. I've always been a little off the beaten path, and a very precocious kid. And when I was young, my mother decided rather than put me into public school, she sent me to yeshiva, the private Jewish school. I thought the teachers would be more strict with me and show me the right way, So I remember I was on the school was on a 4-story building, the top floor of a 4-story building in New Brunswick. And I used to take the yarmulkes off the kids' heads and I throw them out the window. And then people on the street were thinking like the Japanese were sending paratroopers or something. They see these yarmulkes come flying out the window. They thought it was another war that was starting or so. I used to blindfold the bus driver, the school bus driver. Guess who? Oh, I was a very wild kid, very on there. But but I've always done, I've always been funny in school and class clown and all that. And but it took me a while to really get up on stage, only because I was very busy. I do mortgages full time. That's my full time job. And then finally, what happened was it was just a little over a year ago that Robin Lakin, who I become friendly with, she's married to a good friend I went to high school and junior high and Hebrew school with. And they live close to me. And then she was just kept telling me, Jeff, I got to get you on stage. I got to get you on, Just give me 5 minutes. I said, I did it. So I went to the Broadway Comedy Club. I really enjoyed it, met some great people. And I ended up doing between different places, maybe 5 or 6 shows per month, a few open mics here and there. And until everything kind of shut down,
Yes.
So now I'm doing like the more like the virtual comedy, the Zoom comedy. And people always ask me, they say, Jeff, what do you find different between doing comedy on Zoom versus being on stage? And I say, to me, it's really the same thing. Either way, I don't hear any laughs.
You got to really strain to hear them. The good news is you don't see them rolling their eyes.
Exactly. That's right. Although what happened was I did notice that people in the audience were putting masks on, like, 8 months ago. I guess thinking how bad I was going to be. Now, let's put those masks on now.
So from, having done comedy for a short while, what do you say is the difference between delivering comedy at Broadway Greenwich Village versus Tierneys?
Oh, that's a good question, Linda. I don't have an answer, but it's a good question. No, I'm
I just was curious because I went and watched over at Tierneys when Sandy Ellers was there headlining, and I've done Broadway in Greenwich, but I've never done Tierneys, so I don't know what that's like to do from the stage point of view.
Yeah, Tierneys is more of an open and airy place. It's upstairs room. It's more casual. People are not as put together as closely. And what makes Tierney special is just the people that run it. Pat Grillin, who runs 414 Entertainment, sets up the shows there. She's great. A lot of the regular comics that perform there are just fantastic people. I've become pretty friendly with. It's close to my house, which is nice. It's only about 20 minutes away, so it's a lot easier getting in there. And it's just good food, good atmosphere. Plus, it's good too. I have a lot of friends and family that live in the area, and they love coming to Tierneys. It's nice and close versus coming into the city in the middle of the week. It's tough to come to the Broadway Comedy Club, getting family and friends there.
Yeah.
But those are good clubs. I mean, Broadway Comedy Club is a great place to work. Same thing with the Greenwich Village Comedy Club. What's nice with the Greenwich Village, it's in a perfect area. The West Village, some really nice restaurants there. So a lot of times I'll come in with some friends or family, and grab some Thai food, or typhoid. I don't know what we're getting there, but it's
I was so surprised at Greenwich Village Comedy Club how close knit everything is and how small the venue is down in the basement.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a small place, but it's great. I mean, you got people right on top of you, but it's got a good way about it. It's
Yeah.
got a good way,
Such a great history, for Al Martin and now Dina Martin. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoy it. I just it's fun. And again, to me, it's just meeting a lot of different people. Every show I do is always new comics that I meet, and it's just great to just talk shop and just get to know people. So that's really, to me, I enjoy it.
So you started out in Kentucky rather precocious, and then you fast forward to where you're in New York doing mortgages. What happened in between those two?
Well, I've always done mortgage. I've been doing that for 33 years already. It's a long time. I predated the fax machine, to give you an idea how long I've been doing loans for. I started when we had the barter system. Interest hadn't been invented yet. You tend my sheep, I'll build your house. That
The fax machine is where the first dick pics came out.
Oh yeah, they probably didn't come out too good, on there versus sending them digitally. I don't do that kind of stuff.
People don't know that, but they're missing it. Then
Yeah.
you go back before that, it was when people would streak on the football field live.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So
Not
talk
me.
to me about the evolution of you and your comedy, because you say that in your intro that you sent me, you were saying that you've made people laugh since your bar mitzvah. I want to hear about your bar mitzvah.
That's like, my mother was always telling me, Jeff, when you get up there at your bar mitzvah, when you get up there, don't embarrass the family. Please think of the family. Don't embarrass us, Jeff. And I would say, Ma, don't worry about a thing. So I would get up there and I would go, hey, good crowd, Hey, Rabbi, what are you talking about the Haftorah? I'll do the whole thing, you know what I mean? Hey, Uncle Seymour, you brought a family of 5. The check better be more than $35, I tell you that. Yes,
That's
I'm
a
doing it.
that's a spot on Dangerfield. You must have been a big hit.
Well, you know what it is? I've been doing Rodney since I was in 8th grade. Kids would come up to me and say, "Hey, you look like Rodney Dangerfield. You look like Rodney Dangerfield." So I decided to just kind of do the impersonation, just kind of really surprise people. And it's just kind of snowballed, and I've just done a lot with it at parties. People always ask me to do Rodney, and I'll do some of his own jokes. I'll write some jokes that Rodney would do, you know, on there. So, but Rodney's he's one of my favorites.
Did you ever get to meet him or go to Dangerfields when he was there?
Yeah, I never actually met him in person, but I did go to Dangerfield. I remember 1977. I think I was like 18 years old, and sat right next to the stage and then saw him down at the Garden State Art Center. I think like in the mid '80s, around there. So I've always been a big fan. Always watched him on Johnny Carson, and now you can see all over the internet. They always have all those great clips of him on Johnny Carson on there.
Yeah, he perfected having a persona.
Oh
He's-
yeah.
He just had it.
Hmm.
Stuck with it. He stayed in his lane and he made it work.
Well, that's true. No, that's believe me, that's true. So
I'm
yes,
sure.
yes, I've always been like I was always been kind of funny in school. I was always trying to make kids laugh, the teacher laugh, and everything. And the only thing I was bullied a lot in school. I'll let you know right now. I was definitely beaten up constantly in junior high school. In fact, I was beaten up so much that the school bus driver had a special stop at the area where I was beaten up just to pick me up every day. Oh, we gotta go get Jeff. I come rolling down the hill. Oh, the 2 bullies coming after. So, in fact, I had the bully in my school in metal shop in high school, and that's like the worst place. If you have a bully, make it like maybe like a math class or an English class. No, this has had to be metal shop. So my head was put into the vice. The vice at the end of the table there. And I'm screaming to the teacher, "Help! Help!" The teacher's like the pro wrestling referee that doesn't see the guy with the foreign object, pretends he has no. I'm just my head's in the every day. My head is put into that. So what happened was, we had our 40th high school reunion a few years ago. We did a tour of the high school, and we took a tour of the metal shop. And oh my God! And there was that metal shop, and there was a table, and the vice was right there. I wanted to see that vice, so I went over to the vice, and I looked inside. There was like an imprint of my face. It was like the Shroud of Turin. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's amazing.
Man, that's an interesting word, a vice, because like the bully his vice was the vice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I had some fun time growing up. Grew up in Livingston, New Jersey. That's
You grew up where?
Livingston. It's like Central Jersey. It's about a half hour from Manhattan. So that's where I grew up and lived.
Is that like rural area, pretty much?
Suburban. It's like it's like textbook suburbia. It's a great town. I still have a lot of friends in Livingston, and
so that means you've had an easy life.
I mean, for the most, it's okay. It's got ups and downs. But overall, it's okay.
So how does your comedy and your mortgage work together?
Oh, I do. Actually, I do a lot. I mean, I do my mortgages. That's my main income, and comedy is just it's more of a hobby. Some gigs here, I'll get paid here and there, but I just have a lot of fun with it. But I also try to develop relationships with through the comedy, especially with the internet comedy, where I'm doing me and some of the comics performing with different. We're having an audience of people that are different types of businesses, that might be good referral sources for me, or I could refer business out. So it's a win-win on there. And I put some mortgage humor into my comedy act too. I put some real estate and mortgage humor, For instance, I'll talk about how up until 2008, I was selling subprime loans. Remember subprime, Linda? Do you remember?
I do. I
Okay,
was a banker. I did.
Oh,
I
yeah,
taught
yeah,
mortgages.
exactly. The market crashed, after the subprime, right? So 2008, I was selling subprime. 2009, I was working for prime subs.
Yes, yes.
And then people ask me, they say, Jeff, so how do you get your referrals? How do you get your mortgages? And I say, Linda, I get them from referrals from realtors, generally, like real estate agents. I hope to develop relationships to refer me. But they'll ask me for certain things. Like they'll ask me to sit at an open house on a Sunday from like 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, as if I have nothing better to do. Of course, I want to watch a baseball game or a football game, but they'll say, "Can you be at my open house and keep me company?" And I do it. I say I do it because I want their business, I want their referrals, so I will work their open houses. Then I say to myself, I refer business to my plumber, but I don't ask him to come to my house every time I got to take a dump.
Say that like Rodney Dangerfield would.
I tell you, I refer business to my plumber, but I won't ask him to come to my house every time I got to take a dump. I tell you that, I tell you, you see on Facebook lately, people are creating avatars. You know that, Linda? Avatars?
Yeah.
Yeah, the other day I created an avatar. He stole my identity. That's how bad it was. Went to my online checking account and took all my money. Well, $36 of it, I'll tell you that. What there you go.
So now you're out there with the big boys doing comedy among the real comics like Robin Lakin and Greenwich Village and Broadway, and you're just out there having fun. So you'll probably take off really well if you're really in it to have fun. I think I've found that people move up faster than if they're trying so hard.
Yeah, I mean, wherever it leads me, but I just really enjoy it. It's the only thing, it gets a little tiring with all like the Zoom comedy. It's just I think, plus my Zoom business, I'm doing all kinds of mortgages on Zoom. So it's like every day is about 6 different Zoom meetings. But last week at the end of the day, I think it was last Wednesday, I was so tired that at my last Zoom meeting, I was hallucinating. I thought I saw Paul Lynde show up on my Zoom, Oh, you're kidding me, Peter. How bad it was. When you...
I was watching once and I thought I was on the Brady Bunch.
Oh, there you go. And then I was on a Zoom family function. My niece graduated from Georgetown Law. So we had a Zoom graduation party on Sunday, So
how was that on Zoom?
That was, except my father, he's my dad's, still in great shape and everything. He's going to be 86 years old, but he tried to join using an Etch-a-Sketch, He just wasn't able to get on. I said, Dad, no, you got to use it.
Yeah, just send him the codes by Morse.
Yeah, And so both my parents are in assisted living. I haven't seen my parents in a while because everything kind of shut down. They live outside of Philadelphia. But the last time I saw my mom, like I said, my mother never liked me. I was just never loved or anything like that. So I go to visit my mother, and she still reminds me that she still suffers from postpartum depression from me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God. My mother, remember she tried to do a Jewish abortion. She tried to return me to Bloomingdale's. Take this back. She'll take anything back. Oh my God.
Yes, well,
but I'm still here. It's still above dirt. It's still moseying along.
so how are mortgages doing in this pandemic, Jeff?
I'm glad you asked, Linda. Actually, while the purchase business is down somewhat because people aren't as actively out there looking, but there are still some. But their interest rates are very low. They're basically in the low threes. That there are a lot of people that need to reduce their payments. So we help out with refinances. They may need to take some cash out of their house for debt consolidation, or just for some emergency money. So we lose some refinances. I also help seniors out for reverse mortgages. So if they need to tap into the equity in their house as a senior, they can't get a traditional loan. So we help out there. So there is still, business out there. But I feel that once things open up, for the most part, there's a lot of pent up demand out there for homes, and there'll be more people listing their houses and more buyers looking and whatnot.
And what's the name of your mortgage company again, Jeff?
I work for a guaranteed rate. We're a large national, I think we're the fifth largest retail lender, mortgage lender in the country. So
So what has actually around your neighborhood with your family and friends in comedy or friends in mortgage, what have you observed or felt or seen with the virus on the East Coast? Because people out here are in la land about it.
Yeah, I mean, this area, New York, New Jersey, the Long Island and Connecticut are hit very hard. New Jersey is hit extremely hard, So I try not to leave the house much, because they have they talk about those comorbidities, the risk factors. I think I check every box when they list us. Oh my God, that's me, and I got,
Me too. Hashtag me too.
Oh my God, I got, they said high blood pressure is one of the comorbidities. I got high blood pressure just reading off the list. I didn't have it before. And when I saw what the comorbidities were, that gave me the high blood pressure, But so I play it safe. I generally, luckily I can work from home. I don't really need to get out. But sometimes I want to do something when I do go out, I do obviously put on a mask, So, but I want to kind of lighten up the load a little bit when I'm in a supermarket, when I wear a mask, like I was thinking about getting a flesh colored mask imprinted with somebody that's just about to sneeze, walking down the aisle, everybody's like looking at me.
When this whole thing popped off, I went to
about a month ago, before I hunkered down, let's say maybe a month and a half ago, I was in the checkout line at the supermarket. And so I said to the cashier, do you think I should cover my face? And she said, paper or plastic?
When this whole thing popped off, Jeff, I went to 7-Eleven. I was one of the first people to wear a mask.
Okay.
And I went there to get a few things. They let me have them for free because they evidently thought I had the virus.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, they want to get out of the store right away, and no exchanging money, getting germs on anybody with them.
Yeah. So it worked in my favor.
Especially if you just went in there to get like a Slim Jim or something.
Yeah. So what's the craziest thing that you've seen in comedy in general? We're back to the comedy. When you've watched comedy over your life, or in person, when you've been at a show, what's the funniest or craziest thing you've witnessed happen at a show or on TV that you always remember?
Oh, shoot. I don't know what sticks in my head. I don't know what this is. And it's something that I didn't actually see live, but I kind of heard about it. It's kind of eerie. Remember the comedian Dick Shawn? He was kind of like the comic actor, comedian Dick Shawn.
Yeah, I remember the name.
This is a long time ago, but he was known for a lot of physical comedy, on stage, and very unpredictable comedy. Well, what happened was he actually, on stage in the middle of a show, he dropped dead of a heart attack. But what happens is nobody came to his rescue because they thought it was part of the act. So it took about 5 minutes or so for somebody to realize that he's not it's not part of the show, and that's how he died. And I guess this is a long time ago. It's probably at least 20 years ago or so. And he wasn't that old. I think he was in his, maybe like in his early 60s or something like that, early to mid 60s. But that's what that always stayed with me. Here's a guy, because I always thought he was very funny. I always seen him on different shows and whatnot. So when I heard about that, and then it's just kind of the same, I hope I'm not like putting everybody down here who's watching the show here, like, oh, well,
no,
that's what pops into my head.
People don't know, like every single comedian has some favorite or thing they remember in the past. And there's so many young people that barely know what's going on right now, let alone what the history of comedy is. So thank you for, I didn't even know that story.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, serious, but you know, we need to know the history of comedy in order to be as great as we want to be in it today.
You know, one thing I miss is because I know you're in Las Vegas, and I've been to Vegas a number of times. I haven't been there in a while, but I was always big into the buffets at Las Vegas. You know, I'm a big buffet eater. You know, I'm kind of like when I walk into a buffet, it's like John Wayne walking into a saloon. You know, like, well, all right, Bunky, get away from those crab legs now. Hey, garçon, we need more General Tso's chicken now, you know? So, you know, my big fear is when the buffets come back, that because of social distancing, they're going to put the General Tso's chicken 6 feet away from the Kung Pao shrimp. You know? Too much exercise, too much walking around to get my food, you know? I was always a big buffet eater. I was eating too much. You know, the last time I was at Caesars, I was at the Caesars buffet, and I had so much food on my plate that people were coming over to my table thinking it was the buffet. Serving fork, you know. Oh my God, yeah. So, but I hope those come back. I don't know what's going to happen with buffets, you know.
That might not happen. Or
Yeah.
if they do, people will probably be behind the counter serving it for us.
Yeah, that's true. That's yeah. I don't think they're gonna. The sneeze guards are just not gonna help anymore. You know, those they never helped them to begin with. It was just there for show.
You know what I've noticed the difference between people who have been hit hard with the virus and people like out here that haven't. There's one major difference. Out here, we're all fighting about what they're doing, what's going to happen. Is it real? Isn't it real? You know, where it hit on the East Coast around you, people are doing what they're told to do to try to bring down the numbers. Out here, people are like, oh, the Democrats want us to do this and the Republic. And out in your part of the world where you've been hit hard, it isn't about politics. It's about saving lives.
Exactly, and like I said, in this area, New Jersey, New York has been hit so hard, and you know, and it makes sense. I mean, we have a lot of world travelers come into the major airports for business, so this virus has been going on really since probably late November. It's just that it's just one of those things. It was just like almost like a silent killer from the beginning, and then by the time you realize to start doing anything, you know, the horse is out of the barn.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many commuters. So we have the New York subway system and the railroads and the buses, and there's so many. That's why New Jersey was hit so hard, especially North Jersey, because you have so many commuters that come in. So, you know, it's I just I'm just hoping for the vaccine to come. You know, we get a vaccine. But you know, the kind of luck I have, Linda, is like 2 days after we get the vaccine, the asteroid will hit the planet Earth, and we're all going to be wiped out. You know, that's it. Which is actually the way.
The thing is that as comedians, like you are the voice of reason in hard times. You are what people are looking for to cope, and anything you can say funny about it that's still respectful, have at it.
I'm like the guy in the band in the Titanic. You know, that kept playing while the boat was sinking. Now, here's what, you know, speaking of the Titanic, how come nobody ever thought about putting another hole in the boat to let the water out? Right? I saw that in the Three Stooges episode once, you know? Hey, Puddinhead, what the hell did you shoot a hole in the boat? They'll let the water out. I'm warning you. I have like Three Stooges Tourette's, Linda, just like you know now. I just have, sometimes I just blurt out Three Stooges impersonations at any time. One time I was on a job interview. I was about to be offered a job, $200,000 a year, and just about to shake the employer's hand, the boss's hand. All of a sudden, I look down. It's a tarantula. Oh, Mr. Greenberg, I'm sorry. We're going to have to take back that offer.
Those are great impersonations. I'm I'm doing 1,000 voices like Daffy and Goofy,
Uh-huh.
except at this stage of the game, I'm drawing a lot of blanks,
Yeah.
Mel Blancs,
Oh, Mel Blanc. Yeah.
drawing a lot of them.
There you go. Yeah, this time of the year, you get the Memorial Day coming up, the 4th of July, and I was always a big James Cagney fan. Like James Cagney. One of my favorite movies is Yankee Doodle Dandy. I watch that every year on Turner Classic Movies. So I do a little James Cagney. I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy, Yankee Doodle or die. A real life nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. Little James. I specialize in people who are long dead, Like,
Do you do Al Jolson?
Al Jolson, I'm a big Jolson fan. Bing Crosby, Eddie Cantor, I mean, Al Jolson, God, is one of my favorite entertainers. In fact, we were supposed to have the convention. We do a yearly International Al Jolson Society convention. It's supposed to be in Baltimore last weekend. Obviously, we couldn't have it, but we do have the virtual convention at the International Al Jolson Society website on there. So I love Joel's. I'll do a little Jolson for you. Baby face, you got the cutest little baby face. No one else could take your place, baby face. My foreheart is jumping. You really started something, baby face. I'm not having when I hear your fond embrace. A little Jolson there.
That is spot on. That's so good.
Speaking of spot on, I got to throw my shorts into the washing machine. I think I spilled a little ketchup on my burger I had before.
Did you hear about Al Rogan on Spotify?
No.
He got $150 million deal today.
Oh, wow.
Because his podcast, and they want him on their Spotify exclusively or something. Anyway, then when you speak about spot, that's what, if I had a spot, I would never remove it if I had $150 million spot.
Oh, okay.
Spotify, man,
Spotify.
150
Wow,
million.
That's nice, and he's getting 150 million. And I just look outside and the guy's coming to repo my car,
We're waiting for $1,200.
Waiting for my $1,200. It's coming up as a debit card, right? It's not even supposed to be a check. That's what I'm hearing. It's just I can think I'll just redeem it for like $1,200 of toilet paper or something. I don't know what I get,
Well, is there anything you want to say to your friends and fans and people on the internet watching?
Well, I just want to say for everybody thanks for tuning in. I know you'll never get this time back. That's what probably everybody's thinking. Oh my God, but
at least they got to know you off stage.
Exactly, so I hope everybody enjoyed a little levity, a little old time music and comedy entertainment here and there. And just a little plug, if anybody needs a mortgage, feel free to look me up. You can definitely contact me on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on all kinds of different social media. In fact, I'm on with a bunch of serial killers on an anti-social media format. But just definitely feel free. I try to put up a number of funny things on Facebook. I do some virtual shows, and I'll keep everybody up to date what's going on. But I hope everybody
check him out on his Facebook page.
For spending the time, with me. And
the name of your mortgage company again, too,
it's
Jeff?
a guaranteed rate.
Guaranteed rate.
That's the name. That's the name of the company. So loans are me. I'm like the loan arranger. The loan arranger. That's it.
So it's guaranteed rate or a guaranteed?
Oh, guaranteed. It starts with a G, not an A. The guaranteed rate.
Perfect. Thank you so much for letting me redo the original so we get better quality. I hope you've been able to voice everything you want on here.
Yeah. Definitely, and I look forward. If you ever want to do another show, feel free to let me know. I'd be more than happy.
And anytime you have an announcement,
jokes, but it'll be maybe it'll come across better. I don't know.
Anytime you have an announcement of any kind you want to make, hit me up to come back on for 5 minutes and make any special announcements.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, good.
Thank you so much, Jeff Greenberg, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Everybody